I was a nail biter right up to the end. He likes to keep things suspenseful, always has.
Right now on KGW News, 2 local snowboarders learn they're headed to the Olympics, and one is just 17 years old. Plus, an accused serial burglar caught on camera nabbing gifts just before Christmas, and now prosecutors say he may have done this before. But first.
But it was shocking to see. You never expect to see that right outside your house.
As a man who witnessed the shooting of 2 Portland police officers shares what unfolded right outside his door. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. Portland police today also released new images of the shooting suspect who they say wounded 2 officers and announced a cash reward. Catherine Cook's with us. Catherine, let's start with what the witness says he saw.
Yeah, David, as you're about to see, he came close to getting shot himself. Crime Stoppers is offering up to a $2,500 reward for information leading to an arrest in this case. And police hope these new images will help land them the tip they need.
This is the man Portland police say shot 2 officers Monday night. They released more images Thursday, hoping someone would recognize him. He's described as a white man in his mid-30s with facial hair. Minutes before the shooting, flashing police lights caught one neighbor's attention.
Just a chaotic night, obviously.
For safety reasons, he asked that we only use his voice.
A bullet struck my home that was, about 2 to 3 feet from the window that I was, watching everything unfold from.
The view from his window, Northeast 17th and Clackamas. As he watched, he says the officers talked with the suspect, a man accused of threatening someone with a knife. A few minutes later, the witness says a second police car showed up. He says the officers talked with the man for a couple more minutes, then stepped toward him.
I assumed they were going in to attempt to arrest him, and at that point, that pedestrian drew a gun with, extremely quickly. He clearly knew his way around weapons, and he fired off 4 to 5 shots.
With 2 police officers down, the witness says the gunman sprinted away. He says officers on scene didn't return fire or chase the suspect. Instead, police say dozens of other officers, including the CERT team, responded. They set up a perimeter and began an hours-long search, but couldn't find the suspect.
But it was shocking to see. You never expect to see that right outside your house.
One of the 2 injured officers was released from the hospital. The other remains hospitalized in stable condition. David.
Catherine Cook reporting. Catherine, appreciate the update there. Well, in another update, a now former TriMet employee faces criminal charges accused of pepper spraying a group of teenagers. Court documents say they were leaving a parking garage at the Gresham Central Transit Center in August when there was some sort of verbal confrontation with the employee, Stephen Hollinghurst. He then allegedly shot pepper spray inside the teen's car. The documents show Hollinghurst told dispatchers he was being assaulted by a carload of people, but later told a supervisor he was just threatened. He also did not mention pepper spray initially, but later said he used it in self-defense after one of the teens threatened to kill him. There is now a warrant out for his arrest. All right, let's take a live look outside now on this Thursday night, Friday Eve, as we like to say around here, with some City of Portland overnight shelters set to stay open later until 8 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday to allow folks to avoid some of the coldest hours because, Matt, those chilly mornings just aren't letting up.
Tomorrow morning should be a little bit warmer than the last couple of mornings because it's still cloudy outside, but it's still going to be cold. We're at 38 degrees right now in Portland, but yeah, the cloudy sky. And if you want it to be a little bit warmer in the morning, then you want to root for that cloudy sky to stay with us as long as possible because that'll help to keep the heat in. I'll show you the impact it's having. It's really quite substantial. We're at 36 in Hillsborough, 37 Scappoose, 37 in Vancouver. Yesterday at this time, we were down in the 20s. In fact, if you take a look at the 24-hour temperature difference, it is 10 degrees warmer in Hillsborough, 10 degrees warmer Scappoose and Kelso compared to this time last night. Portland only 3 degrees warmer, but we were warmer than the other locations anyway, so we're still about the same. And then warmer in Salem, McMinnville, Corvallis, 11 degrees warmer. So again, a substantial difference tonight compared to last night. And if you look at our temperature forecast hour by hour, 6 a.m., only down to 32 in Portland. I think we'll drop to maybe 28 or 29, but still quite a bit warmer than last night, which is great. Every degree matters. Now, we have those sprinkles come through earlier in the day. just a trace of rain in the metro area. That was it, and that is history now. It's moved on down into southern Oregon and is falling apart. So not as cold overnight. The east winds will be increasing, though. That's happening now. And still, David, another mostly sunny weekend. And then we'll talk more about the east winds later.
All right, still some sunshine out there. Thanks, Matt. Developing this evening, prosecutors say the man in this video caught on camera breaking into a home, gun in hand, just before Christmas to steal gifts for kids could be connected to other crimes in the Portland metro. Let's bring in Alma McCarty in the newsroom with those details. Alma?
David, it was only a couple of months ago that law enforcement agencies across Multnomah County announced the creation of the Burglary Task Force. It's a concentrated effort to crack down on these kinds of crimes. And the deputy DA in charge says this arrest is the latest example of those efforts in action.
December 20th, 2025. Surveillance video captured this Southeast Portland incident, which in turn captured the attention of a top prosecutor.
I saw it and I thought, no, this has to stop, right? No one should be stealing someone's Christmas presents with a firearm in their hand 5 days before, ever, but let alone 5 days before Christmas.
Deputy District Attorney Alex Garcia says this suspect, identified as Alan Easley, was tied to two other home burglaries, one on Thanksgiving and one on December 1st.
But I've had conversations with all of the victims. They felt violated. They come home, they find that they're either watching it on surveillance as it's happening, or they come home and they see their drawers open, things rifled through. Things stolen.
But this third incident, where Easley allegedly kicked down the door, walked through a child's room, and took the presents, wasn't even the last. Here's footage from a commercial burglary at a Northeast Portland Midas, also on December 20th.
Mr. Easley is alleged to have broken into that Midas location, essentially scaled down from a skylight that he broke in the roof, entering the vehicle, stealing the keys, and then ramming that vehicle through a Midas gate.
2 grand jury indictments and multiple charges later, the DA's office says there may be more victims, with this message to anyone who may be in a similar situation.
I would encourage the public to continue reporting. I know that people have fatigue in reporting. Have your voice heard, report, and provide law enforcement with surveillance if and when it exists, so that the case can be reviewed and prosecuted.
In Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, Gresham police are asking for help finding a teenage suspect in a deadly shooting from 1 year ago. Police believe Camarino Vides, seen in these photos, shot and killed 17-year-old Jorge Vasquez in an unprovoked attack at Vance Park on January 23rd of last year. They're asking anyone who knows where Vides is to call 911. Anonymous reports can also be made online. Well, it turns out Multnomah County will not add metal detectors to the Central Library, saying it would not fix the most frequent security incidents. Safety concerns have been front and center after a deadly shooting took place right outside the building last year, but the county says a community survey showed many people are more concerned about issues like substance abuse and homelessness in and around the building. Library and county leaders have already increased security officers, limited Wi-Fi access, and temporarily removed outside benches to address some of those issues. And the U.S. House has passed a full-year funding package for Homeland Security and other federal agencies. 1 Republican voted against it, while 7 Democrats broke ranks to support it. They include Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. In a statement she wrote, she couldn't, in good conscience, vote to shut down FEMA or Homeland Security. House lawmakers also passed a separate package of bills to avert a partial government shutdown. The bills now head to the Senate. To Newport now, where Oregon Senator Ron Wyden was in town, following up on the Coast Guard rescue helicopter station there, one that is central to a federal lawsuit that appears to be related to the president's immigration policies. You may remember, the chopper was quietly moved in October to North Bend, some 70 miles south. Then news surfaced that Homeland Security wanted to use the Newport land for an ICE detention facility, something the city doesn't want to see happen. Fishermen's wives, the county, the state all sued the federal government to bring the chopper back for safety reasons.
We understand that, having the helicopter here isn't an automatic that we're going to save every life that goes over, but it is such a great extra, extra resource that really makes the difference.
In December, a federal judge ruled the helicopter must return to Newport, where it had been for years. It is still unclear if the feds plan to move ahead with any kind of ICE facility. In Minneapolis tonight, a school district is accusing ICE of using a 5-year-old as bait amidst the immigration crackdown. Let's explain. School leaders say federal agents removed the boy from a running vehicle at his home alongside his father, then had him, the boy, knock on his father's door to see if other people were inside. The father told the child's mother, who was inside the home, not to open the door. Agents say they weren't targeting this child, but his father, who they allege is in the country illegally. They say dad ran off when they caught up with him. He said he wanted the boy to remain with him, so both are now at an ICE facility in Texas. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance was in the Twin Cities where, one, he indicated invoking the Insurrection Act, meaning the military could be deployed, was not needed at this point, and two, went on to blame local officials for not helping federal law enforcement carry out arrests.
These people are under an incredible amount of duress, an incredible amount of chaos, and because of a few very far left agitators, a lot of these guys are unable to do their jobs without being harassed, without being doxxed, and sometimes without being assaulted.
Vance also pledged ICE would not enter people's homes without a judicial warrant, despite an internal ICE memo obtained by the Associated Press that appears to contradict that.